Leonardtown, Maryland. This small town is housed in St. Mary's County, a rural reservoir of historical significance. St. Mary's County was formerly Maryland's state capital and houses St. Mary's City, Maryland's original colony. Today, we will explore Leonardtown's past, present, and future as it modernizes, expands, and continues to grow. In 1708, residents of St. Mary's County voted to create a town, originally named Seymourtown, honoring Governor John Seymour. 20 years later, it was renamed to honor Benedict Leonard Calvert and was named Leonardtown.
We love Leonardtown, especially lately. It seems the pandemic must have been a pivotal time here for Leonardtown, especially over here with the wrecks, because when other restaurants were folding up, the wreck just expanded out into the street. And it seemed to be a pivotal moment that everybody else took a cue off of that and started making a real street life here in Leonardtown. And so we've watched Leonardtown in the last 3 years. It looks like it's just exploding here.
I was interested in working for Leonardtown because I have always loved coming here. Even as soon as we moved back to Southern Maryland, when we wanted to go for date nights or just a fun night out in the town or for some casual weekend shopping, it was always the town. And so when the opportunity arose, I was super excited to not only work in the place that I love, but get to know the business owners behind my favorite stores.
I love it. I lived in Coronado, California for a couple years, and this part of Leonardtown gives me that California vibe. Everything is so close to walk to, and the people are so nice.
We love Southern Maryland because we can bring our kids here and just explore the area, and like she said, everything is just so close to walk to. I mean, we can go to the social, we can go to Brew Garden, the Rex, everything is just very close together.
The town's population has been steadily increasing since the 60s, with Leonardtown boasting a mere 1,281 residents in 1960. By 2020, that number has surged to 4,603 residents. Inside the town, new businesses have begun to pop up more frequently, which raises the question, what is fueling this rapid modernization? When did this once small town evolve into such a thriving community? To answer this question, we need to first understand its setbacks. A pivotal moment in Leonardtown's history occurred in 1993 when Route 5, a major road through the town, was rerouted outside of town square.
The bypass, I think, was a big help in achieving that goal, in that it took traffic, a lot of traffic. It took it out of the town and around the town. It allowed the town businesses to expand to the point that they have done. So I think it's been very positive thing.
Well, I think the overall effect of the bypass was positive. It was a bypass. Leonardtown then became a destination, and it gave an opportunity for the downtown area to remake itself to become more attractive, particularly for people seeking a destination to go to particularly to dine out and eat and have a good time.
The construction of general stores in the surrounding area further diminished the necessity to visit Leonardtown. However, a turning point came in 1998 when the Leonardtown Post Office relocated to a new building in the town square, which had a positive impact on business, reigniting interest in the town. Fast forward to today, Leonardtown has developed as a vibrant community.
I think something surprising about Leonardtown, having only been back in Southern Maryland for a couple years, is the diversity. I think being in Southern Maryland, most people wouldn't think that we have so many different cultures here. But even just in our food scene, I think it's obvious that we really are a melting pot thanks to the base being so close. And I love that part.
With a diverse restaurant scene, historical landmarks like the Leonardtown Wharf Park and the historic Old Jail Museum, the town square has become a hub of activity. Leonardtown even recently hosted the world's largest rubber duck, an event that cost the town $9,500. Despite being a small town, this giant attraction ended up drawing many visitors from outside of Leonardtown to witness the duck. This event left us wondering, would the duck have drawn as many visitors 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I would have said, I don't even know what that sentence means. So no, I don't think I would have ever.
Yeah, to be fair, we've lived down here our whole lives and we never used to come here 10 years ago. So definitely no rubber duck.
I don't think the duck would have ever come to the wharf. If you look at the square 10 years ago, rundown buildings, it just wasn't an environment that people would visit. So I think that they've done a really good job of revamping the square and bringing people to the area.
10 years ago, I didn't know about the large rubber duck. I'm glad it came. I'm glad that weekend's over, but it was amazing because it brought so many people down here. And I was here and I thought it was a great experience.
Even though it feels like Leonardtown doesn't have many big visitors, the town has seen another big star before.
The house we're in now, where I now live, that we're having this conversation, was owned by a fellow named Ike Weiner, and he owned a movie theater, a neighborhood theater over at Hollywood. It's a building now called the Hole in the Wall, and Roy Rogers was a famous entertainer at the time, and he made it a point to visit every movie theater where his movies were shown or distributed. So since Mr. Weiner owned the theater, he owned this house. When Roy Rogers came to visit, he spent the night here.
Leonardtown hosts a variety of vibrant events that contribute to its community. Every first Friday of the month, Leonardtown comes alive. The businesses open their doors and welcome the town to come dine in and shop. The annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony also illuminates the town square with festive cheer, bringing in visitors from out of town to experience the holiday joy. The Leonardtown Car Show is also a notable event, showcasing many cool rides from around the county.
I think as Leonardtown continues to modernize, we can still maintain our small town charm. I think a big part of that is our programming. Everyone loves Christmas on the Square, our Veterans Day Parade. I think with those small town Hallmark movie type events, we'll continue to keep our character.
The town has also seen its share of corporate expansion in the form of Dunkin' Donuts and Dairy Queen.
To be honest with you, it's not really my cup of tea, but I'm pretty sure there are people who love it.
I love the Dunkin' Donuts. I think that we don't need, honestly, a lot of chain restaurants and stuff in the square, but I do frequent the Dunkin', so I guess I'm a bit of a hypocrite.
We don't go to the Dairy Queen, though, so it's here, but we've never been.
Yeah. I like it being there. It gives me something to do or something to eat, and it's pretty cheap. And yeah, sometimes it is kind of weird because it's not like a so small town related, but I mess with it. I like it.
This addition has not hindered Leonardtown's local businesses as they continue to coexist. One of those small businesses is the Social on Fenwick, a local coffee shop. The business owners have decided to move from their smaller store to a larger venue, the historic Duke's Fountain Bar Restaurant. The building was constructed in 1920 by Roland B. Duke. However, its exterior has been recently restored by the owners of the Social.
A recent example would be the Duke building right on the corner. That has had significant improvements. It's now called Social. That building, the fellow that owns it has made significant improvements to a building that's over 100 years old.
While Leonardtown modernizes, it doesn't come without challenges, in particular, a growing parking issue.
Well, there possibly is a parking problem.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Parking in Leonardtown, it can be a hassle.
Absolutely.
There is a parking lot on the back side of the street, but it's really not known to people that aren't from here.
There's no parking spots for me. I'd spend like 5 minutes looking for somewhere to park earlier.
Every time we come here, we circle like 1,000 times before you can find anywhere. And depending on where you're going, there's like 3 spots in front of the building. So yeah.
But there is an overflow back here.
And it's exacerbated by the very thing that's making Leonardtown great is all the street side tables and things that are taking up part.
I don't think there's a problem with the parking in Leonardtown.
No, everything is, you can walk.
But you know what? We'll deal with that. To get what we have here, I can find a place to park. And a boss of mine once said, we don't have a parking problem, we have a walking problem.
It is a historic district, so I think when you come to the square, you expect the parking to be what it is. I think the county and the square has done a decent job of finding parking outside of the square, and you have the trolley that will also bring people in. So I think adding more parking would do a disservice to the history of the square.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if you park all the way up there, you're going to hit a restaurant, and then you can walk all the way down to this restaurant. So it doesn't really matter where you park. If you don't find a restaurant right in front of the Social, you're going to find a restaurant right in front of the Rex. And then, I mean, just walk right over. Everything is literally within walking distance, so you can park anywhere you want, and there's unlimited parking, I feel like.
As the town's population continues to rise, finding parking has become increasingly difficult, especially in the downtown area. Some businesses have expanded their outdoor seating into parking spaces, further reducing the spaces available to visitors. In addition to the parking issues, some Leonardtown residents feel that its recent modernization is bringing about a change in culture. David Mattingly, a local small business owner, provides his opinion on this change.
I'm David Mattingly. I'm 61 years old. I've owned David's Flowers since 1989. I've lived in Leonardtown all my life. It's the only place I've ever been. I've only ever worked. It's been nice. It's changed a lot. We have a more diverse clientele. Like I say, I used to know everybody. At this stage in the game, I don't know anybody for the most part. The new developments that have come in have brought people that we couldn't have imagined would be here. We have so much more traffic. We have so much more things that people are trying to plan to do in Leonardtown. And at one point, I wasn't sure any of this would happen. We weren't supposed to have chains in Leonardtown. We've got chains. We've got Dunkin' Donuts. We've got the Dairy Queen. They weren't supposed to be here, but they are. So I'm used to getting along with everybody. There's a few people I can't get along with, and it's time for me to go.
Despite residents' concerns with a change in culture due to modernization, Leonardtown has initiated new projects to engage its community. One of those projects includes revitalizing the Wharf Park. This project aims to enhance the recreational offerings and provide residents and visitors with a rejuvenated space to enjoy activities and waterfront views.
Our plan for the wharf is to eventually connect it through 2.5 miles of pathway called the Breton Bay Greenway to the Port of Leonardtown Winery, which is very exciting. That's part of our Tudor Hall project. We did just release an RFI recently, a request for interest for a food hall down at the wharf, and that project is ongoing.
This new plan will give a fresh look to the waterfront, adding enhanced parking, food options, an amphitheater, and further connecting the wharf and square. With the influx of people moving in, Leonardtown is going through constant growth with ongoing construction of new housing developments and neighborhoods. Notably, Leonard's Grant, one of the town's main neighborhood, continues to see expansion. Recently, this neighborhood was connected to another established neighborhood, Clark's Rest.
Positively, it's brought a lot of business into town. People are doing well. A lot of that's due to the Patuxent River Naval Air Stations. We're very fortunate to have that, and it's financially very good for the community.
The cause of this rapid growth could be attributed to new job opportunities being offered at the Patuxent Naval Air Base, a United States air station located near Lexington Park on the Patuxent River. This growth could also be attributed to Leonardtown's location in general, a tranquil yet historical setting with a vibrant local scene. A proposed town plan dated February 2022 gives insight to future changes. These plans also predict the population to skyrocket, projected to be 8,302 residents in just 5 years. One thing is for certain, Leonardtown is just not on the rise, but will continue flourishing into an ever-thriving community over the next decade.
Where do I see Leonardtown going in the next 10 years? I think it'll continue to grow. The big thing is our ability to provide utilities, to provide adequate water and sewer, do everything we can to safeguard and preserve our waterways, because we'll never get those back if they're destroyed.
Wow. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, I'd have said it was going to be boarded up. As long as the town fathers here still have this evolving nature in mind and don't get bogged down with us old people craving our nostalgia, if they just continue, it's going to continue to thrive. And this is the thing that we find in all cities that are making the inner cities alive, are these little kind of businesses that are here. And I don't know that I can say that I can see it in 10 years, but I certainly hope it in 10 years that this kind of thing spreads and continues to grow.
That's a good question. I don't know where I see Leonardtown in 10 years. I hope that they, again, maintain the history and the storefronts that they have done so far. I think it's a good place to stop. I think people often keep going because they think that they need to, buildings and parking lots and all that sort of stuff. I think they've done a really good job of inviting more people to the square, bars, restaurants, but I think that they should stop.
Growing, expanding, more businesses, hopefully small businesses that we can support.
Ooh,
And
more bar crawls.
And more bar
More
crawls.
interviews.
Woo,
Let's.
woo, woo.
I think it will be expanding more. There's a large tract of land along the waterfront that extends from Leonardtown Wharf to the McIntosh Run, and that's slated for development. And so I just, as I say, that's just one more farm. That's probably the last farm that's left. Then it'll be subdivided in the next 10 years. Yeah.
I think they're gonna keep pushing, progressing forward as much as they have been. I don't know that I see much more changing. I could see some of the places that aren't honestly like restaurants and stuff leaving the area. It just seems to be the trend now, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for them or for anyone, but it seems like it'll probably just become a restaurant and bar hub if I had to guess.
I think they'll try to keep the small town vibe though, now that they have that grant or whatever it is for, what is it, like tourism or something. But I think, more restaurants, bars, hopefully more like things to do, but I think overall it'll probably stay the same.
Hopefully forward. I mean, it's a great place. I love seeing new people. I love seeing families walking around and just the family vibe that you see.
I think in the next 10 years, Leonardtown is going to see a huge increase in so many different things. Not just our land mass, not just our infrastructure, not just what we have as far as retail or shops or dining, really a revitalization, a renaissance, if you will, of what we're here to support and what we're here to offer to our visitors and residents and businesses. I think we will see more shops. I think we will see more dining, hopefully more activities for families and for people to come and experience and enjoy. I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be a really exciting time for Leonardtown.